It's longer time. Yay! Lager time. Poems, stories and thoughts. By me, Paul Cree. Who else? Greetings, bonjour, what's happening? Welcome to Lager Time. My name is Paul Cree. This here is my blog podcast type thing where I share bits of work that I'm writing on, be it poems, stories, thoughts, and sometimes a little bit of music. I'm a writer and a performer. Most of the stuff I perform tends to be stuff that I've written. Occasionally I'll perform someone else's work. Most of the stuff I write tends to be performed by me, but occasionally someone else. So there you go, lots of bits and bobs. This is what I do. This is my space in which to share that. So hello, what's happening? We are September. In September, wake me up when September comes, or something I was saying somewhat cynically throughout the summer when it was really busy, because September for me tends to be a little bit more quieter, a little bit quieter. I don't know why I said the more there. But yeah, it's been a quieter month, which I quite like, to be honest. I've been busying myself with some things at home in terms of writing and that. The Friends from Afar project that I work on, that we've only just reconvened. So it's the very early sessions where we play around with ideas and hopefully come up with an idea for a new show. So yeah, there's not a lot to talk about really. I will be showing, before all of that, notices, something worth mentioning. So today's the 24th of September. In exactly 1 month today, on the 24th of October, I will be performing alongside my Beats and Elements spars at Camden People's Theatre. We're doing a very special night at Camden People's Theatre on the 24th. The night is called Beats and Elements 10-year birthday. Kinda, not really, things can only get better, which is a very long title. So it is roughly our birthday. It's also Camden People's Theatre's birthday, which is why we're doing the event. Camden People's Theatre will be 30 years old. This is the last season that's been programmed by the last artistic director, Brian Logan, who's now gone up to Scotland to run a theatre in Glasgow called A Play and a Pint and a Pie, which sounds really cool. So yeah, it's a bit of a night that has a lot of meaning for us. So Beats and Elements is the theatre company I'm part of. I set it up with Conrad Murray. He's really the driving force behind it. But we set it up in probably 2013, and we wanted to use the stuff that we know about, which is the kind of stories we both had growing up, the kind of people we grew up around, and then also our skills in terms of music, so beatboxing and rapping and spoken word, all the stuff that we were doing, and we wanted to put that into theatre and tell stories about the kind of people that we both knew, which we did. So we came out of a show around that time, an idea for a show, No Milk for the Foxes, which 2 years later, it was actually 2015, we performed it at Camden People's Theatre for 3 weeks, and it was, for a show of that level, it was pretty successful. I've never known anything like it. We had loads of really good reviews. Lots of different people came and watched it, and people still talk to us about that show, which is funny because we didn't really know what we were doing. We made it in his studio, in his garden in Mitcham. We didn't even have a script. So the book, the play came out in the book that I sometimes plug on here. was one of the plays that got published in the hip hop theatre Trilogy. And yeah, we had to put the script together just from watching the video. But yeah, you can see the show online. We had it filmed and it took years to get it back, and we only got it back about 3 years ago, and it's been viewed a few thousand times. We get weird little stories every now and again. Someone we know, like a young person, was doing some drama school training up in Liverpool, and the show was quoted there by some lecturer at this drama school. And then I was working with an academic a few months ago who told me she marked a paper of a student who quoted it. Yeah, it's strange. Some university in America, in Texas, has picked up the play text. So we had no idea it would ever go on to do anything like it did. We were just chuffed to be in a theatre, which is Camden People's Theatre. I'm given a 3-week run, which is quite hard to get these days. And what it speaks to is that CPT, Camden People's Theatre, took a chance on us. We knew Brian, who was artistic director. He'd not been AD for very long. We both knew him from Battersea Arts Centre. But even still, we were young in the game, really. Even though Con's done loads of stuff, I'd done a little bit, but we were kind of unknowns. But yeah, they supported us. They supported us with the company. They gave us a bunch of different time periods and a bit of money to develop the show, and then supported us with the education side. That's something that we both wanted to do, so setting up community projects and whatever else. So all the aims that we had initially was to make shows and go and do workshops. We were doing with CPT. It's hard to get that kind of trust and support. So on our second show, they were co-producer of High Rise A State of Mind, which also did reasonably well. We had lots of good reviews on that show, and yeah, they were a co-producer on that. That show got to tour, and we did a week at CPT. CPT was great. So yeah, it's a cool little venue. They're very supportive of early stage artists. They punch way above their weight as a venue. They can get you publicity in all sorts of places. Like we had an interview with The Guardian. Again, all of these things are hard to get hold of. So yeah, I just re-emphasize they've been a great support and champion for us. So we were delighted when Brian said, do you want to come and do a night? The 24th of October at 9 p.m, which I appreciate is a little bit late, but it's CPT. They normally pack their schedule in. So what we're going to do, we've got 1 hour. We're going to split it into 3. So we're going to do a little bit from the No Milk for the Foxes show. We're going to do a little bit from the High Rise A State of Mind show, a few songs and a few scenes. And then we're going to do a little bit of something new, which is exciting. So me and Con have been meeting and jamming some ideas for a new project that we're going to show a little bit of at this night. Now, really, it's the first time me and Con have worked together since doing High Rise. That was like 2017, 2018. He's doing really well, running around all over the place, nationally and internationally, with all the amazing Beatbox Academy stuff. And so yeah, it's been nice to just sit down and jam some ideas. A little bit daunting, but it should be a laugh. It's a little bit of a celebration really of 10 years kind of. It's actually a little bit more than that, 10, 12 years of doing this, and we're still doing it. And CPT is 30 years old. It got refurbed a couple of years ago, so it's all pretty spick and spam in there now. And they're still going strong, and there's a new AD in place. So yeah, that's an exciting thing for me personally to look forward to. If you are able to come, you can book your tickets on the Camden People's Theatre website. I'm looking at it now. It says there tickets are £8-12. So I'm guessing £8 is the concession, 12 quid is the regular fee. I'll stick a link in the podcast description and on the Substack. So that's what I'm working towards. So there you go. All right, that's pretty much the only update. There you go. So what I'm going to show you on today's podcast is a short story that I wrote maybe 4 or 5 years ago, which I dug out the archives because I'll explain. So it's in the character of Reece Shaughnessy of Newtown, which if you're familiar with what I've been doing on this over the last kind of year, I did a series of this character, this Reece character, which I've been writing on and off since 2009. So there's a bunch of stuff I've written in different periods over the years. And it's always something that I was slowly developing on the back burner, not just this character, but this fictional town, Newtown, which is loosely based on where I grew up, a kind of satellite Newtown, but it could be any satellite Newtown in the orbit of London, because I've been to a bunch of them and they're all very similar. So yeah, it's developing that world, and I always liked this story. Never did anything with it typically. And then one of the other things I was working on this last kind of 6 months was a much longer story, which I finished an early draft of, and I've sent it to a friend of mine to have a look, because I don't really know what to do with it. It's somewhere between a novel and a short story, but it's from that world of the Reece character. Maybe I'll put something on here soon. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to work on here or not, because I don't know. It's either, if I read it all the way through, it's about an hour long. So, you know, that'll be a lot of work. But yeah, so I've been thinking about that character, Reece, and I've started working on another story, which is starting to look like it's going to be another longer one. Maybe I'll try and put some stuff on here just for funsies. But that's it, really. So you're going to get a story. It's called Pegasus. It's Reece going back to school days for this one. Hope you enjoy it. As ever, if you enjoy what I do, please tell your friends. Next month will be officially like the third birthday of Lager Time. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just mention it like I'm mentioning it now. 3 years, a milestone for me. I don't know how many episodes this has run at now. Probably, I think it's up in the 80s, maybe 90s. So 100 episodes. I'm not very good at sticking to things, so I've stuck this one out, and I really enjoy doing it. So yeah, Lager Time, tell your mates. Then you can get some books in my shop, paulcrew.co.uk/shop. That's my dog Odin, where there you can buy my one and only poetry anthology called the Suburban, and also a copy of the aforementioned Beats and Elements Hip Hop Theatre Trilogy, where you'll have No Milk for the Foxes in there alongside 2 other plays, High Rise, A State of Mind and Denmarked. And there's music online and YouTube and all that stuff. Paul Cree Writes, I think it is, on YouTube. And there you go. Yeah, tell your mates. If you'd like to make a donation, also there's a Ko-Fi account, which is like buy me a coffee or whatever it is. I've had one donator so far, large up, and that person, I was very, very appreciative of that. But if you want to make a cash donation, this stuff does take time. Yeah, you're more than welcome to, and it will be much appreciated. But either way, whether you do, whether you don't, that's fine with me. I just appreciate your ears and your eyes on my work. So there you go. Large up, have a great weekend. This will probably be the end of the month when you get this, as we slide into autumn. I hope you're all well and good out there, keeping it larger than life. You know the coup, all right? Peas and taters, Paul. Prior to being punched in the face and falling backwards over that shitty shin-high hobbit fence and landing in the overgrown grass and mud outside the school hall where I now find myself arse over face, I told Sam Hodges, this melt from the year below, that his old dear was a fat slag. To be fair to Sam, apart from wearing the same pair of Nike Air Pegasus as Big Dell, he hadn't really done anything to deserve it, and nor had his mum. She once let me off 10p to go on the bouncy castle at the school fete, and I don't remember her being a fat slag either. I felt bad about saying that. The thing is, Gary had told me earlier that week that I needed to step up if I wanted to roll with him at lunchtimes, and Sam Hodges' trainer violation seemed like a good opportunity to show that I had the minerals. He wasn't supposed to chin me though. Prick. Legs twisted over my head, as if I was in some sort of advanced yoga position, feeling pretty dazed, I opened my eyes. The world looks very odd upside down, almost refreshing for a brief few seconds, and I contemplate a new direction in my life, one of creativity, expression and inner exploration, until a little woodlouse drops out from my hair and lands on the grass. Looking like a hairbrush, uncurling itself, it stops, straightens up, then turns its body in my direction, right by my forehead. "You deserve that, you prick." Head on the grass and looking sideways, I focus my blurry eyes onto this tiny silver comb-like insect, feeling pissed off and noting the beginnings of a splitting pain on the side of my face. "What?" I reply. "You got banged out, mate. You tried it and you got slapped, you mug." "Shut up, mate. I'm not getting mouthed off by some little woodlouse." "You're a pussy, bruv. Pussy." Its annoying voice echoes off into the distance as I flick the wriggling little silver prick towards the school hall and slowly climb to my feet, trying to present the image that I'm not in any sort of pain, shock or suffering from humiliation, though I can feel my bottom lip trembling and my eyes are like those stressed dams on the brink of collapse in one of them Hollywood disaster films. I look up, about to engage in speech and laugh it all off, badly, but instead I see Sam looking desperately at the floor as Gary squares up to him, forehead resting on Sam's mousy brown hair. Gary's arms outstretched like that massive Jesus statue on the top of that mountain in Brazil, though I don't think Gary is spreading the good news somehow. In a split second, Gary's punched Sam in the stomach and he's immediately bent forward with a gasp. Gary's then caught him sharp in the eye with a left hook and kicked him over that shitty knee-high hobbit fence, landing next to me on the grass. He's got some red curly keychain with all these manga-type figurines attached to it. It's now all twisted up by his head. I saw it fly out when Gary kicked him over the fence. Just to compound Sam's misery, Dells then hopped over the fence and booted him full pelt in the shins. "Don't wear my trainers again, wanker." That Sam kid's now crying, lying there with his geeky keychain hanging out of his trousers, school bag still attached to his back. Gary and Del are laughing, and the dinner lady is coming over to the scene of the crime, alerted by the shrieks, flanked by a group of girls from my year, which includes Joanne, who I really fancy. "Look, that Sam kid shouldn't have worn the same trainers as Del. You just don't do that, do you? Do you? Another geezer's trainers, even if there's only 2 shops in town." But I feel like shit. Gary hit him pretty hard. I heard it slap his face, and I winced, like I felt it too. That Sam kid is harmless. One of the geeky kids into Warhammer and that. That little crew all have them red curly keychains with the figurines. Del and Gary slowly walk off nonchalantly. I catch the tail end of Del's conversation. "My dad's getting me a new pair tomorrow. Jordan's, mate. Sick." The dinner lady's helping Sam to his feet, who's inconsolable. I start to walk off with the intention of catching up Gary and Del and hoping no one notices. I hear the dinner lady ask Sam what happened. In my peripheral vision, I see a sobbing Sam raise his arm and point at me, red curly keychain still dangling and twisted.
Reece Shaughnessy, come here now!
I'm sat in the head teacher, Mr. Malik's office now. He's giving me the hairdryer. The water table is peaking and there's cracks in the dam.
Violence is not tolerated in this school.
I'm looking at the goldfish in his aquarium by the window. I like goldfish. I figure that if I can concentrate on the fish and how cool they are, then I won't cry. I keep hearing that sharp hitting sound when Gary punched him, followed by an image of Sam on the floor, bawling his eyes out with that twisted up keychain. Just concentrate on the fish, Reece. One of the fish stops, its big bulbous eye looking right at me, opening its mouth as bubbles float to the top of the tank.
Pussy. Look at me, boy. You think it's acceptable to pick on younger boys, do you?
There are quite a few white hairs in amongst the black hairs on Mr. Malik's beard. I figure if I can count the hairs, this will distract me from the tears.
Look me in the eyes, boy. Is this what you want, Reece? To be known as a thug?
Just as the floodgates are about to open, a light goes ping in the fog of my mind. Malik actually thinks that I bashed him up. Me, done the damage on Sam, done him over. He's saying I'll get a reputation as a thug, aka a tough kid, aka a hard kid. Yes, Malik. This is what I do want. I want that reputation. All right, I feel shit about Sam. He didn't do anything wrong other than chinning me and wearing those same trainers as Big Del. But if I walk away from this with a rep as a hard kid, I'll take that. Sorry, Sam, but you did wear the same trainers as Del. Yeah, Reece Shaughnessy. He's hard, mate.
You'll be on report for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'll take that, Malik. Thank you. I'll be that hard kid that's all right, though. Cool with everyone. Not a bully, but can totally handle himself, no mug. But if you cross me, then bosh, mate, you'll get banged out. Like Sam Hodges.
And the letter will be going home to your parents.
Like a stormy sky slowly giving way to that mystical weather bridge of a rainbow with clearer skies and sun closing in, all the guilt, shame and embarrassment is slowly giving way to excitement. I can almost feel my shoulders moving into position, preparing myself for a newfound confidence for when I next bowl out onto the playground, knowing that I've got a bit and these dickheads are going to think twice about stepping up to Reece.
Now get out.
I bowl out his office and see Sam sitting in the chair outside. Mud all up his trouser leg, holding an ice pack against the side of his face, which immediately pisses on my firework. Shoulders back to their familiar slouch. And I feel like shit. All over again.
Sorry, mate.
The words mumble feebly out of my mouth like a drunk person passed out on a train spilling bits of kebab.
Piss off, Reece, you dick. I didn't do anything to you.
He's got a point there. The ache in my face perks up as if it's nudging me.
Well, you did wear those trainers, Sam. What? How am I supposed to know he's got those trainers? And who cares? I've had these for ages. My mum bought them for me. I don't even care what trainers I've got on or who else is wearing them. Yeah, sorry, Sam. I'm sorry. Leave me alone, Reece. You sad case.
He's called me a sad case. In the conventional playground understanding of a sad case, it will be him that's the sad case, with his Warhammer toys and geeky keychain. But he called me a sad case, me. When an actual sad case calls you a sad case, I don't think you can be any more of a sad case. It's like the highest ranking officer class of sad case. Shit. Mr. Malik calls him into his office, and I slink off back towards class. That little conversation's pissed me off a bit, and my face still hurts from where he hit me. Malik didn't say anything about that though, did he? Prick. As bad as I feel, I decide to continue on with this narrative of me being a hard man and beating up Sam. Though she would never admit it, Joanne would be way more likely to fancy me if I was hard. She went out with Gary when we were in year 8. She must have a thing for bad boys. I'm sat in my seat next to my mate Stuart Simons, who's a bit of a knob, but alright. Joanne is sitting nearby, going about her work. I'm speaking just loud enough so she can hear.
Yeah, he got lippy, so I banged him out, mate. You know me, Stu. I wouldn't just do that to anyone. I don't like violence. But if I have to, then I will. So what did he say then? What? Sam? What did he say to you? Yeah, you know, just like getting lippy and that. No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. He said that my mum was a fat slag. What a prick, mate. I would have chinned him as well. Yeah, you know me though. I wouldn't just do that. So did he hit you then? No. Course not, mate. Didn't have a chance. So how come you've got a massive mark on the side of your face? Yeah, Reece, how come you've got a massive red mark on the side of your face?
Shit. Joanna stopped writing and turned towards me. Shit. Does she know?
Oh, what this? Nah, it's just on, like, skin allergy. Skin allergy?
Stu is laughing.
Yeah, Reece, skin allergy to what?
Where's she going with this?
Yeah, skin allergy to, like, woodlouse. Woodlouse?
Simon and her say in unison.
Yeah, like, it's a thing I've had since I was a kid. Oh, funny that, Reece, because I thought, you know, that the reason there's a red mark on your face is because for no reason you picked on Sam Hodges, who'd done nothing to you, and you called his mum a fat slag, but he then, and rightly so, punched you in your pathetic face. Yes, Reece, I was there. And the fact that you're trying to make out you beat him up on top of what you've already done makes you even more pathetic. In fact, worse than pathetic, you're a total sad case, Reece.
I think that's the most that Joanne has talked to me in the last academic year. So the one little plus I'm taking from all of this is that she at least knows I exist. I feel worse than shit though, and just can't wait for this day to end. Stu then pipes up in that delayed, loud, annoying radio voice he's got that he seems so unaware of.
Wait a minute. You got beaten up by Sam Hodges. That's hilarious.
And soon enough, everyone is saying it. To complete the misery, Big Del comes up to me on the playground as I'm leaving with Gary and punches me in the stomach.
For being a melt, you melt.
With school done, I now have to face my parents when that letter arrives and the fact that I'm on report again. I'm not even that naughty. I'm slumped down at the bus stop, letting my head fall into my chest. I see Sam Hodges in a car driven by his mum pull out from the school and drive past me. He gives me the middle finger out the window. His mum just looks like a nice person, picking up her nice son. I could see the shiner on Sam's face as the car drove past, and I'm imagining the conversation they're probably having about how much of a prick I am. As I'm sat, a little woodlouse crawls out from under my feet. Without even stopping, I hear it mouth.
Pussy.
Even the woodlouse won't give me the time of day, and I just stare at the concrete, wishing that I could be anywhere other than this.
Yeah, Reece likes woodlouse, don't you, Reece? Don't you?
Stuart is signalling over to me, raising his eyebrows and grinning like a knob, speaking in that irritating loud voice he has, leaning over his big, knackered wooden table looking like it's been taken straight from a school DT room. In fact, it probably has, in these sorts of places. They call it kitsch or some shit like that. This bar is noisy and packed, and everyone in here seems to look like some sort of shit Where's Wally impersonator with stripy tops, glasses and those silly beanie hats, drinking craft ale like what happened to normal lager. It's Stuart's birthday and we're in some Ponty pub in Hackney. He lives up here now. I feel very out of place. A few minutes ago, one of his new mates walked in wearing an 80s looking grey jumper with a big picture of a woodlouse on it. He's also got on one of those silly beanie hats completed with his ankle swinging trousers and a pair of Nike Air Pegasus. I look at Stuart and give him that fuck off nod, which his new melty friends probably won't understand. I turn and look at his mate in the woodlouse jumper. They've already reverted back to ignoring me and are all talking about some shit sounding synth band who are playing some warehouse gig in Hackney Downs later that night. I look at the woodlouse on his mate's jumper. The little silver prick winks. Then all its comb-like legs form fingers and make coordinated wanker signs at me.
You're a pussy, bruv.
It's longer time. Yay! Lager time. Poems, stories and thoughts. By me, Paul Cree. Who else?